Hey guys, John Avanti here. I'm in the shop, and the problem I'm having with my 2008 Toyota Tacoma TRD second generation. This is a V6, around 250,000 miles. Is my air conditioning compressor took a bye-bye. It broke. So here's the old compressor. It's pretty rusted out. It wasn't working properly. It was really draining the power of the car. I'm not sure if that's from the compressor, oil leaking out, but this is pretty bad. This is the new compressor. I got this on eBay, I believe, or Amazon. It was really cheap, like 160 bucks, remanufactured. So this one compressor goes in many Toyota vehicles, probably even other cars. So what happened was one of the bolts broke. You could see here. So the bolt broke, but this bolt part came out. And the other thing that broke too was, while we were taking it out, that failed, was the crank sensor. So we weren't able to start the car. We actually put the air conditioner back in and the car would not start. We even put a new belt tensioner in. So we have a new belt, serpentine belt. We have a new air conditioning compressor, and we're waiting on the part for the crankshaft sensor. So the reason why I'm changing the air conditioner is because the car was running horribly with the air conditioning on. It was surging. I was loss of power. There was a lot of kicking and really bad. But when I drove with the air conditioner off, the car ran pretty good. It ran well. There's no problem with it. So I was going to change this air compressor like about a year ago, or maybe even a year and a half ago. I didn't get around to it. I just recently replaced the transmission. There's a video coming out in that. But now we're going to have a new air conditioning compressor, and we're going to see how cold it blows and how well the car runs. So in a future video, we're going to be changing out the brakes, the rotors, the wheel bearings, and the Bilstein shocks. They're pretty much rusty, a little bit rusty. They're kind of holding up pretty well, but I have new ones, so we're going to throw those in. This is a closer look at where the air conditioner goes. You really can't see much, but the crankshaft sensor is behind the air conditioner compressor. So what had happened was, we put the air conditioner in, and then the car wouldn't start because we were trying to put the Freon back into the car, and we couldn't start the car. We put ether in or starter fluid to try to start the car through the air box. That didn't work. So the mechanic, Paul, he went in and he figured it out. It was a crank sensor. We had to take everything back out, and now we're waiting for the crank sensor to come in to put that in, and hopefully we're going to try to start the car first before we put the AC back in to make sure that's the problem. Alright guys, so this is the crank sensor. It's got a little magnet on it, and that's what activates everything. So we're going to go ahead and throw this into the truck, and we're going to see just how good it starts. So the crank sensor is on the side of the block right behind the compressor, and we're trying to put it back in. So we just plugged it in. We put a little oil on it. Sorry for the light, but we need to see. So what is it, just slip in, or you got to screw it in?
Slip in and then I put a screw.
It slips in and then you put a screw. So there's a better view of the crank sensor. So the AC compressor sits right on it. So when you're taking off the compressor, you got to be careful not to damage the crank sensor. So that part was $70, but you can get them cheaper online. I've seen them online like 50 bucks, $33. So this is the old crank sensor. You can see it cracked right there. And maybe this thing was worn out anyway. 250,000 miles. So a little preventive maintenance. We got the new compressor going in, and we're gonna be nice and cold driving down the road.
And then I try to like be quicker, be easier, and then I look on the YouTube.
Yeah, YouTube, there's, you know, YouTube Academy. There he goes, coming in.
Come on, now I cannot see nothing.
Can't see?
Because now you took the light from me.
What about now? This is not an easy job. You're almost there.
Yeah, but let me see the light. Because it's right in front of me, and then I cannot see shit. That's the problem.
So we put anti-seize on the threads for next time. Hopefully there won't be a next time. Alright, so new serpentine belt, compressor, crankshaft sensor. We'll be good to go. Next job is brakes, wheel bearings, rotors, shocks and struts, and hopefully that's it for the next 250,000 miles. Don't laugh, Paul. Yeah. The hardest part in the beginning was getting the bolts out. They were in very tight. But now once we got the bolts out, we put the anti-seize, the bolts came right out, as you can see. So that was the hardest part. Mini wrench. Chassis looks good, no rust, nothing major. This chassis didn't have a full chassis rebuild. It had the rear end redone, leaf springs and that stuff. Paul, did you have your truck chassis replaced? No, right?
They didn't need it. They did the leaf springs.
Leaf spring? Yeah, me too. Leaf springs.
Yes.
Primo, ¿tú estás bueno al aire?
Sí, hay que poner cuerdas.
Yo le metí 4 cuadras y no hizo nada.
Mete una más.
¿Eh?
Mete más una.
¿Cuántas que meterle?
5.
Oh.
¿5?
Sí.
The air compressor outside for your tires takes 5 quarters.
Takes force.
Takes cool. Alright guys, so now we're sucking the air out of the system. It's on 0. So this is the high pressure valve, and that's the low pressure valve. And this is where the air comes out of the yellow one. And this machine sucks it out, and it comes out of here. And then with the same machine, we're gonna charge the system with Freon. So you can see it's at 0, 0. What are you looking for over here?
Minus 30.
Minus
30.
minus 30. So there's not too much air in there, but we need minus 30 to be sure, because then there'll be air pockets in the system and it's not going to work. All right, so now we're going to put back the skid plate and the sway bar. We're going to make a few more attachments, and the sway bar goes right there. And we're going to be done with this job. That's the easy part. Okay guys, so we got the car back, and the total bill to replace the air conditioning in this car was, the air compressor was $160. I bought it last year. I'm not too sure if there was a core charge for it, but so whatever it was, it could have been $200 for the air conditioning compressor. The serpentine belt was $25. The labor was $200 for the labor and $75 for the charge, so that's $275. The crankshaft sensor was $70. So $200, $475. So it was a total $500 to fix the air conditioner in the car. I mean, that's how much it cost. The labor was that much, and the parts. You know, you got to pay for all that. I went to STS, a local like commercial a mechanic shop, and they were going to charge me $377 labor and $155 to recharge the system. Now that's without the new serpentine belt, the crankshaft sensor where maybe Paul broke it while he was taking the compressor out. The other mechanic at that shop might have done the same thing. and that's without the compressor. So it would have cost another $100 labor. Well, it would have been just $500 labor at the other shop. So I saved $225 by coming to a local mechanic and not paying any taxes. I paid him cash money, and he did write me a receipt. That is a legitimate business. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna drive around and see how the car runs, because the biggest problem I had wasn't the cold air, it was the air conditioner just draining the car out. It was just a miserable drive. You couldn't drive it. It felt like something was gonna break. It kept shifting hard and surging and really working hard, the air conditioner, to compress the air in the truck. So now we're going to drive around, and real quick I'll go around the block and we'll see how good it feels versus before. So what happened was, when we went to start the car after we put the compressor in, the car wouldn't start, and that's how we figured out it was the crankshaft sensor. But now it's new, so that's one less thing in the future that may go bad. So let's start the car up. Turn on the air conditioner. So I got the AC on electric and on 2. It's blowing cold. Cold air is nice. Cold air is coming out. I'm gonna close the window. Car's in drive. And let's go. So put my seatbelt on. So now the car's not shuddering at all, and it feels normal driving, and I have power, where before I didn't have any power. I mean, the car was just dragging to accelerate. It would, when I would come to a stop like now at a stop sign, the car would kick down very, very hard. And I'm not sure if that was maybe one of the reasons why my transmission went. Maybe from all the kicking and hard and shuddering and all of that, it might have damaged the transmission. You know, I wanted to change the air compressor like a year ago, and everyone was like, no, just charge it, you'll be all right. But, you know, whatever. Yeah, so it feels good. You know, the check engine light is on. Paul said that don't worry about it. You know, that's what they all say. Don't worry about it. So yeah, I mean, it feels like a normal car. You know, like now it's a pleasure to drive. You know, now it's definitely so nice to drive. There's no shudder, no shuddering. There's a little kick there. I don't know if you heard that. And the air is coming out nice and cold. And, you know, if something goes wrong, he'll warranty it. He'll take a look at it. He wasted his own time. Maybe he did break the sensor, but I had to flip the bill and pay $70 for it. You know, but he's done work for me in the past that, you know, that was inexpensive. And I got it done today. You know, I was off today, and it was done. You know, and I didn't pay any tax. Yeah, so there you go. I mean, it's just normal driving. You know, naturally, like in an older car like this, in 2008, you're going to have a little loss of power with the AC on, but not the way it was. I mean, you couldn't even drive the car. It was so bad. Oh, and now the car's, you know, the air conditioning is comfortable. It's very nice. It's very comfortable. It's cold. You know, a lot of these mechanics, they just want to do easy work. They don't want to do like an air conditioner and stuff like that. Yeah, feels good. All right, guys, thanks for watching. This is John Avanti checking out, and hope to see you on the next video. Take care, peace out, and please don't forget, just hit that red button, man. It's free, and it's a good deed. And the thumbs up. Take care now.